But here now, I know exactly how this is going to be laid out because I know what my different styles are going to be. So actually, I also need a style for the page itself. So let's create a div class called tabloid. Just call it tabloid page. So that's for the whole thing. And I got my code completion set up, which is super nice in Visual Studio. The yellow bar means that this is new information. So every time I hit Control S, it will save it. Now I got to save this once for the first time. I'm going to actually save it to my desktop and put it inside a new folder. And call this assignment 5. And then make sure you name this index.html. All of these, every time you create your first main homepage, your main page is always index.html. There'll be other things inside that folder. So I'll go back and I'll add another folder for my images, but I'm not going to do that now. The other thing you'll notice too is your colors may be different in Visual Studio. You can adjust these colors. You can find different themes and load them if you want. But it's nice to have the color coding so you can kind of see what the different things are. Like your tags are, my tags are yellow. My styles are green. Anything in percentages, anything in, quotes is green. So you'll have different colors than mine based on what you're using or the default. So the main page I'm calling tabloid page. And then I have a div on top, and that's called main banner. And then inside of that, and what's also nice too about Visual Studio are these lines, these dotted lines. So it kind of shows me the parent-child relationship and what code I have inside the other divs. So it also will indent for me. So inside of main banner, I have headline and head pick. So I will create my 2 divs for that. And I have headline, and then I have head pick, and then this code that I have here is good for this section right here. So this main banner section at the top, that's all done. So now I have a section down below called main. So I'll create a div equal to main. And then inside of main, I have a div for, oh, I forgot to put class. So this, say class. So I have inside of that a class of big story. And nothing else is inside there except if I do add images, but that can be part of the style for big story. But the other child of main is stories, and that contains my 2 scary stories. I have stories. And inside of stories, I got 2 more divs. I have scary story 1 And then I have Scary Story 2. I'll just copy, paste that. So based on my wireframe, this is the code that would represent the wireframe. So right now I have all my HTML set for the structure. Now I have to create my styles. So here I'll just create a style tag inside my head tag. So up here is my head tag. So I got my style tag. And now I can go ahead and create these styles. So I have a style called tabloid page. And that's the main page for the site. So it's going to have a width of 1200. It's going to have a height of 1855. And then just so you can see it for now, I'm going to give it a border, and I'll give it a border of say 4 pixels. It's going to be a solid border, and it's going to be blue, just like I have up here. So that tabloid page style is set, and that's the main page for everything. And now I can do my other styles. So I have main banner. And so what I can kind of do with this now is I know what my tabloid page width is. So I know that main banner is going to be a little bit smaller. So I'll probably do like, I'll do 1190. The height, I'll just guess that the height for this is, let's see, looks like if I divide it by 1855 by 4, maybe that height can be we'll just go with 400 pixels. I'll give it a background color so we can actually see it. So I'll just say tan, like a light color. And I'll also give it a border so you can see it too. I'll give this one a black border. So that's good for my main banner. And now I can go in and add my headline style and my head pick style that goes inside. So I have headline. Now it's going to have a width of 80%. It's going to have a height that's less than 400 because the parent has a height of 400. So I can say like probably like 394. And you can change these numbers once you look at it. And then I'm going to float it left. It's going to be at the left side here. And then I'll also give it a background color just so we can see it. Let's say just yellow. I'll give it, I won't give this one a border. And then I'm just going to copy and paste this. And then this one's called head pick. And this one is 20%. But instead of float left, I will say float right. And that should be good for that. And now if you just want to look at this, what you do with here in Visual Studio, you just go to view in browser. So you just right click on your document, go to view in browser, it'll go to your default browser. And then that's what I got. So let's see. So you can kind of see it coming together a little bit. I think let's make this background color green. And actually, I think I have to float this one. Let me float this one. Let's see here. Because I should see the green box up here. So let's. Let me see. So let's see, headline, head pick. So let's see, I don't know. Oh, I made a mistake. So down here, I misspelled class. So let me fix that. Okay, there you go. Now I just have to fix my float. So my headline, I'm floating left. I'll make it 80%. And I'm just refreshing every time I do this. And now I have my setup. So yeah, so it's kind of close to what I want. You can adjust these as you go through it. So maybe actually I want 70 to 30%. Oops. So this looks closer to my wireframe. So now I can kind of go through and do the other styles down below to match what I have here. So I have a style called main. And that is going to be probably the same width as my main banner above. So what did I do there? I did 1190. Now the thing about main is that it's the lower 2/3 down below. So the height is going to be whatever the height of main banner was, minus 400. So you take the full page of 1855 minus 400, that's 1455, and then I'll deduct a little bit more. So I'll say 1430, let's say, because all the borders and are going to take up space, so I'm going to have to account for the borders. I'll give it a background color. And these background colors are usually temporary. You're going to put an image inside of these. So these are temporary. It just lets me see the wireframe as I do it. So I'll say aqua. And then I'll give this a border of red. And then when I refresh, so that's this aqua color is this main section, and now I can do my big story. So I'll do that one next. Sometimes I just cut copy and paste to make it faster. So now this is big story. Just remember with styles too, you put a period first. So big story is going to be at the top there. It's gonna, let's say this is also 400, so it looks like it's the same height as my header. Oops, height should be 400. It's going to be almost the same width as my main, maybe a little bit less again. So I'll say 1180, and I'll change the color. Pink. Oops, made my height too small. So it's getting closer to the look of what I have here. Where did my illustrator? So it's getting closer, right? And now I just have to add a story box and put 2 boxes inside of that. So I'll do that. So again, I'll just copy and paste. So this one is just called stories. It's going to hold my scary stories. The width can be the same, so it's the same width as big story. The height is basically 800 minus, or 1855 minus 800. So it's like around 1,000. I'll make this one. I'll pick lavender. That one. So I got stories, and then inside of stories, I have scary story 1. So the width is going to be half of this. So we'll just say, I think I said 580 in my original. And this one, the height can be a little bit less, so let's say it's like, and again, you'll adjust these. You can adjust these precisely. So I'm putting in less in there, but you could say like probably 990. It's less than the height of scary stories. That the child of stories is a little bit less than the height of stories. And then here I will float this one left. And let's see, and make the color a little bit different. So I'll make this one floral white. And now I can copy this, make my scary story 2, and I'll float this one right, and I'll make this one purple. And then if I look at this, there's minor things to adjust here, but now this web page is pretty close to my wireframe that I had, and that's the whole process of coding that based on your wireframe. So does everybody understand that process? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
is that pretty straightforward?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can get more elaborate. You can put boxes inside of, you can have stories inside of stories. You can create children of the children of the children. But just remember, that's kind of the flow, right? When you look at this structure, you see code embedded within code. And that's the hierarchy that you're creating to create this type of wireframe, design composition with the code. So that's how you do it. So for this, you'll be using floats, I would say. There's other types of positioning, but stick with the floats. And then, these sections will have actual photos in it, right? You'll find images online that work to go inside here. And then, you want to do some work in Photoshop to have some interesting images and combine with text. And you can combine your text and images in Photoshop, or you can use web text. It's up to you. So that's it. So do you guys have any questions about anything else? That's all I wanted to show you. I just wanted to kind of run through this so you understand this assignment. So
no question for now.
Okay. So yeah, try it and see what you can do. And then if you have any, if you get stuck, I have the one-on-one meetings, and there's not going to be a module next week. And then the week after that, we have spring break. So you guys have a lot of time to work on this, and you still have more time to catch up if you need to. But try this flow, and then I'll put the video in the module as well. So you can kind of go through this whole process again by watching the video. But I think this should be pretty clear on the process to think about positioning now using style sheets.